Art, you're on. Talk to us about why we need a fiber optic network. Okay, I was hoping this would be enough for everything. No,
it's got.
It's thick.
Well, the reason it's thick is on the backside. It's got a copy of the proposed contract and whatnot. That's why. Because you guys have indicated you'd like to see the proposal and all that stuff.
Live from the scene of shot.
So the thought is, you can do a little news program at Huckleberry Hill that goes out every day. You know, either keep it in district, you go out to channel 17 with it, whatever you want to do. So we'll have we can broadcast it out, right? So
but it will be live as
right. Well, part of that's the equipment we're going to install at the high school with the new project. But if we don't have the band, you can't do it. You can't be running computers and everything else and some cheap video across the cable. People are going to go, what's going on? So what does that mean cost-wise? $55,000 in capital and $33,000 a year, or $26.50 a month for 60 months. At the end of 60 months, it drops back down to about $2,000 a month, which is our standard carrying costs as we go forward. Okay. Total project cost about $220,000 capital and expense side included. So basically, the recommendation certainly would be, if we're going to do this, is option number one, which is what is attached. That's what this is. Okay. This is a proposed contract. We spoke to them this afternoon. If we were to give them the go-ahead when we got funding, it's about a 6-week lead time for equipment and whatnot. Project would complete date probably within 8 to 10 weeks, 2.5 months total project time frame from the time we say go to the time it will be completed. No, it's really not too bad.
It's still a sizable investment for our committee to make, unless we're going to push it back to the school's budget and not the capital budget. So that's, I think, what we have to decide. We can't decide whether we want to do it or not, but we can decide whether we want to absorb it into this capital budget or if we want to push it back into John's budget.
Art and I have been talking a little bit, and there may be, I can't make any guarantees at this point, it's still a little too early in the school year, but there may be some freeing up some funds in the 06-07 operating budget before the year is over through savings in certain areas that might allow us to move forward. That would get it off the plate and it wouldn't have to go into either the capital operating budget for next year, the capital or the operating budget for next year.
Right, could you turn these on for a moment, please?
Why?
Because I'd like them to be turned off.
It's a public meeting.
That's true, but you're not a correspondent or a news person.
It doesn't matter. I'm sorry, it's a point of law. I can record the whole meeting. I can't believe you asked me that question.
Well, believe it, I did.
All right. Well, it's illegal, so I'm recording it. Thank you.
I'm not sure about that, but
check with your town attorneys. The bill's getting higher.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
This is a public meeting.
This is
not public session. Okay, we can address this.
Yeah, I mean, so that's just a possible consideration. I think as we talked about it earlier, I mean, if you try to define it more properly, it probably is a capital improvement item by definition. But, you know, given what we're probably out against from a financial point of view and what resources might be made available, we have to explore other options. And so that's all we're doing this week.
Right.
If we could come up with something specific, we would come back, we would bring it to this table first with a recommendation to bring it back to the full board shortly thereafter, but we're just not at that threshold yet.
Would you expect to know before the end of January, before we get rid of all this?
Not.
So in that case,
Probably
it would be
not.
in one. It would be in one budget or the other.
I think it may be advisable to keep it where it is now on the capital improvement.
That's what I would suggest. Yeah.
So I would recommend keep it there. At some point
Things change.
in the future, we can act on it. Well, then obviously we'll just come up with that list.
Exactly.
But so that would be my thinking.
Belinda, would you like to express an opinion on that?
Total project cost about $220,000 capital and expense side. Total project cost about $220,000 capital and expense side. Total project cost about $220,000 capital and expense side.